I think it was 2 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago, I started seeing this on social media. And at first, when I saw it, I was like, man, this is too weird. This has to be fake. But then it turns out it started blowing up. I did some more digging, and then it actually came out there were actual reports of something happening in the Amazon jungle. And I'm talking about 7-foot face-eating aliens in the Amazon jungle. 7-foot face-eating aliens just outside of Peru in the Amazon jungle in a small little village that's there. And so there's a lot of reports out there. And so I'm just going to read a bit from some of the reports that I've seen. And so it says the residents of a village in Peru are living under constant fear after alleged attack by aliens. The villagers claim that the aliens were around 7 feet tall, attacked them, and ate their faces. The villagers also said that the aliens were unaffected by their weapons, and they called the aliens, I'm going to butcher this, I guess it's a Spanish word, the Pelecates, which means the face eaters. And basically, there's this, ancient myth, legend of these face-eating creatures that have been around that area for a long time. And that's what the locals have kind of given them, this creature, the name, the Pelecates, which means face eaters. But it turns out that, according to the villagers, that they're actually real. It's not just myth or legend, but these creatures are actually doing that and have been doing that. Now, the officials said that the aliens, as claimed by the villagers, were in reality, and so this is the official narrative, were in reality the members of a gold mining gang in the area who hailed from different parts of Central and South America. And so the government, they come out, media come out and try to, squash it by saying, no, there's no such thing as these giant 7-foot facing the aliens. They're actually a group of miners that they're mining for gold in the area, and they're trying to basically scare the locals, push them out of the area so that they can mine the gold. And the report continues. It says, as per reports from Daily Mail, the villagers said that the attackers, so now the villagers again are describing these creatures of what they saw. These 7-foot creatures were silver-colored beings with enormous heads, and they were impervious to their tribal weapons. And they seem armored like the Green Goblin from Spider-Man, except they weren't green, they were silver, but they had that same kind of suit that the Green Goblin was wearing. And then they describe him, the creature, as his head is long, his mask is long, and his eyes are half yellowish. With that, they see you well, and then they leave, he said. The attack first occurred in the summer on July 11th, so basically, a month and a half ago. The locals faced vicious attacks from the aliens who were capable of flying and were also 7 feet tall. And so these creatures are 7 feet tall. They're said to fly. They look like dude from the Green Goblin, and they are eating people's face off. Now, when you read all the reports that came from this area, there was a 15-year-old girl that was said to be abducted by them, and she suffered lacerations on her face and her neck, but she managed to escape. And then when she got back to the village, to where she's from, she's trying to explain what happened, and then the media came down there, and then she's getting interviewed by the military. And when you see the video footage of her, it's like this girl is genuinely in shock. Like, she's genuinely afraid of what just happened. Like, she's definitely shook up. She's shaken. This isn't some situation where she's, some guys wearing a mask scare her. No, she's actually like shocked and in shock at what she went through. And there was another report of a guy that was found, and the whole face eating thing comes from, where his whole face was literally sucked off, and so all you had was basically the skull underneath. But it was done in such a precise fashion, like it was laserly, or laserly, that's not even a word, like it was removed with like laser precision. It wasn't like from some kind of wild animal that got a hold of him, and it was kind of all messy. And no, this was like perfectly surgically cut off. His face was removed, and the lacerations that were on this guy was very similar to the 15-year-old girl that escaped. And so this is why they're kind of putting two and two together. But again, the official narrative that kind of took head was they were a group of miners and that were dressed up, and the way that they were flying is that they were wearing jetpacks, flying around the Amazon forest, scaring the locals, and trying to push them out of the area so that they can mine the gold. And when the military went down there to investigate, and they found the miners and they saw them, they all had very, there was no jetpacks, there was no high technological equipment that they were using, like they were using old cell phones, and there's just stuff that the government or that the military took from them and discovered would not indicate in the least that they had some high tech advanced jetpacks and stuff to do what they did. And so this is why the locals are very adamant that they believe that they are terrorized, and they're still being terrorized by these face eating aliens. And another thing of note that's of interest is that when you look at some of the footage that they caught on their cameras of these creatures, they look eerily similar to the creatures that were in Las Vegas. And so some people they look at that and they say, like, what are the odds? Two separate instances, one in Las Vegas, one in some remote village in the Amazon jungle, but the same creatures. And so I thought, man, that's crazy.